Welcome back to the channel. This week on the Kiwi Barefoot Gardener, we're going to do a review of the greenhouse and check out what's going on in there at Midsummer. And we plant a long-awaited and long-anticipated new item for the garden. Come potter with me in the garden. My name is Dawn and I am the Kiwi Barefoot Gardener. Good afternoon. Well, it is Saturday the 3rd of January. Sometimes at this time of year you've got to think very carefully what day it is. But yes, it's Saturday 3rd of January and I finished editing the vlog for coming out on the 4th, i.e. tomorrow, this morning. So now that the weather has stabilised is probably the best word for it. It's still really cloudy outside and the wind's not the warmest if you're in the wrong spot, but I've decided to come into the greenhouse because it needs watering. And I thought, I did mention that it has been exploding in here, so I thought I'd bring you in and have a wee look with you about what's doing what. So here we are. Now, because everything's just exploding, I'm stuck up against one side of the greenhouse where the shelves are at the moment, and just looking at the greenhouse. While this is amazing, I do actually have some work to do behind me, so the shelves need tidying. Stuff that I have neglected needs biffing out basically, and or moving on. So it's a bit of a shame, but yeah, as I indicated at the end of the vlog that I've just been editing, I really need to focus in on less as far as variety is concerned, so that I'm giving things that I'm doing a wee bit more attention rather than more the scattershot way that this year has worked out. Because after the previous season being very limited due to having had the back surgery and still recovering, this season I've just gone, yippee! And yeah, I'm still not full-bodied, or, well, I am full-bodied, able-bodied, but in the same sense as what I was before all my back problems. But I am way better than what I was 12 months ago. So I'll never be what I was for all my back surgeries. I will always be disabled, but I am able to do a lot more than what I used to be able to do. I hope that explains what I'm saying. So with that in mind, I'm just going to tidy up all my half-done disasters or neglected plants, get them all either out, recycle the dirt and things like that, anything that's savable out into the garden, though I don't think there's too much that is savable because it's gone past its best and it'll either just bolt or die if I put it in. But back to what we're looking at now, the greenhouse. Right at the front door of the greenhouse, where you're sort of jammed in, is my patio snacker. Now, we did a patio snacker I planted in July-ish as a experiment. It did really well for a long time inside, and then it just packed a sad and stopped doing well. So I planted it and it just sat there and just got worse. And I tried trimming it off and seeing if it would regrow. It never really did. So one of the ones that I planted in spring, late spring, that's one of this. And it is doing great guns. So the first cucumber is ready to pick. And I've always had trouble working out when a cucumber is ready to pick or not, just because we never did cucumbers as kids. It was something my father would not grow. He hated the smell of them. So it's something that I've had to learn. So I've often let them go too far, just thinking, just let it go a wee bit. But I'm learning my lesson here, and recently did some more research about when to pick them. So give me a sec, I'll pick this one and we'll go through it. Just before I pick it, I've brought the camera in. It's trying to rain again. how dare it. But I thought I'd just show you the base of it. So that's the one I'm going to pick there. You can see that there's another one there. And can you see that one just there? And there's one in behind that you won't be able to see. And there's loads and loads of flowers further up, so bound to get some more soon. Right, cucumber picked. So do pick your cucumbers using a pair of shears or kitchen scissors, sharp scissors, because if you try and just rotate them off or pull them off, you're going to damage the plant. So you don't want to do that, because you want your plant to last as long as possible. Right, now this is my cucumber. That's a pair of scissors to give you some idea of the size. It's not huge, it's not meant to be huge, it's meant to be a little snacking one, lunchbox type. Okay, still got the leftover bit of flour on it, that's okay. Now what I want to show you, I'll just get rid of that, is the colour change just here. So can you see how it's gone pale here? So that around there or further down is what you want. You do not want your cucumber to go yellow, because it's overripe then. So this one is a wee bit spiky, not too spiky, which is good. Some cucumbers can be really, really prickly. If you've ever grown aubergines, like the good old-fashioned Black Beauty standard eggplant, you'll know at the top of them it's really, really spiky, and you've got to be careful. Some cucumbers can be like that too, really spiky, and they don't look spiky till you actually grab the fruit and you go, ah! Yeah, this one's not too bad. It's just got some little spikes, but they're fairly blunt, so they don't hurt. So that's good. I'm quite pleased with that. I'm not sure if I've mentioned I'm one of the few members of the household that eat cucumber. Something I came to after I left home as an adult, because, as I said, my father wouldn't have them in the house. He hated the smell of them, so I never really ate them beforehand, but something I got into as a young adult and really still enjoy. So that is mine. I'll hide it from the only other member in the house that eats them. Yeah, the other cucumbers are coming away, and I'll show them to you in a minute. And I've got a mixture in here, I think, of Market More, which is sort of a standard blobby type, longish blobby one, sort of a bigger version of this, and a Lebanese or a Telegraph. I'd have to look, I can't remember off the top of my head. I've grown both this year, Lebanese type and Telegraph type, just not quite sure what I put in here. So yeah, pretty pleased with that. And as I said, loads more coming on, so I will probably get to the point where I will be no more. But anyway, plenty of people will eat them, so I'll give them away. But yeah, pleased with that. Pleased I've picked it too. Right, now have a wee look for what else is around the greenhouse. Right, so as I said, not a lot of room in here, so I've sort of crammed you in one corner to show you the eggplants. Now that's the traditional Black Beauty, and he's really slow to go, but I do find in general that eggplants here in Canterbury just don't go fast, even in the greenhouse. This is the carafe one, and he is putting some flowers out. She's gently, not quite opened yet. I've got about 3, maybe 4 flowers on him, so that's quite good. I'm really pleased with that. The leaves are looking good, except for I just noticed on this one, and you won't be able to see it on the camera probably, that there is a silvery trail on it. So there is a snail and or slug lurking around here. I haven't had one since midwinter. I thought I'd got rid of them all, but I'll just have to keep an eye out. I've just had a quick look, can't see them. And with all the wet weather we've had the last 4 days, I'm not surprised that they're out. So I'll just need to keep on watch out for that. So really pleased with that. I've got a stray tomato here as well. Well, actually 2 stray tomatoes. These were the ones that I wanted, didn't want to throw out, so I just shoved them in a pot, and yeah, they're doing okay. They'll be late, but that's all right. And that's a sun gold. At least not looking the best, but I'll give that a nip back. But yeah, generally happy with that. The tomato section, well, it's doing well. A lot of growth, and I know there's always a risk when you're putting in reasonable amount of fertiliser in pots, because you've got your tomatoes in pots, that you'll end up with a lot of leaf growth and not much flowers and or fruit. But they are flowering, and I've had a bumble in here doing quite a lot of work over the last week or two before the cold weather hit. So yeah, I'm happy. I can see lots of fruit in there. Yep, generally doing well. Brad's putting out quite a bit, which is good. So I'm really looking forward to trying the Brad Atomic Grape and see what it's like. Got some Anise Noir in there, which is a new one for me too. Looking forward to that. It's a bi-coloured sweet beefsteak type one. So yeah, getting there. Just needs a bit more time and a bit more warmth, which I gather we are actually going to be getting this coming week. It's going to start getting warm again after a cool spell over the Christmas New Year break. Typical. Everyone's off, so the weather packs up. Well, I've parked myself in the far corner or back of the greenhouse, and this is one of my cucumbers. Well, two of my cucumbers, because yes, I was naughty and planted two to one pot. So the front one is the Market Moor, and I've got quite a few flowers on there, and I can see quite a few female fruit that have been pollinated or close to being pollinated if Mr. Bumblebee comes back after the cold weather. So that's good. I may have to get the old paintbrush out. At the back, and you can't see it, and I'll try and bring the camera down, or I'll put a photo up. Might be easier to just do a photo. I've got 1, 2, 3 good size, when I say good size, about that long, Telegraph cucumbers. They're a long way away from being ready yet, but that's okay. If I can spread my cucumber harvest out, all the better. So I'm really pleased with that, and you can't see how tall it's got, but it's heading towards the roof. I'll probably have to nip the top out of that like soon before it gets any higher, because it's actually got higher than the support stakes that I've put in there. So I'd already nipped out at least 2, maybe 3 of the tomatoes, because they had got higher than their supports. On this side, I have a melon. And yet again, I've been naughty and I've put 2. 2 of the same. These are the Hales Rock melon, and I've grown these before, and on sort of average summer, it's been got 1 or 2 fruit that have struggled to ripen and brought in and finally ripened, but they've not had that sweet flavour. So I'm hoping that this year, if the weather kicks back in, which it's supposed to, I'll get more. I've got a load of flowers, a lot of male flowers on there, but I can also see female flowers. And where was it that pretty sure it was this plant that I spotted? Oh, here we are. Baby melon. It's hard to see, but he's there. So that's good. That's what I want. And I think there's a few others just there. So yeah, pretty good. What you can't see behind here is the capsicums. And while they're not putting out huge volumes, they are growing, and I'm getting some. So hopefully I'll have some nice capsicums to eat in a month or 2. None of them are showing colour yet. So most of them are still growing. And actually, strangely enough, I've noticed one of them, and I can't see which variety. I think it might be the lunchbox snack ones. They've actually put out a whole lot more flowers and or fruit in the last week or so when the weather's been cooler. So I'm just thinking they prefer cooler weather. So next year I just might plant them all outside. I have planted them outside in the past and got huge volumes. So yeah, pleased with that, but they just might not like the heat of the greenhouse. I generally don't let my greenhouse get above 30 degrees. I try and open all the vents and put as much air through as possible, but you know, it's a greenhouse. It's a non-powered greenhouse. I don't heat it, and I've got no way of blowing the warm air out unless I trail a cord from the garage with an isolator, because it is a wet environment, but with an isolator, and use a fan in here placed on a shelf just to help blow the air out. I've only ever done that once, and that was when we were sort of got 3-4 days of plus 30 degree weather one year, so since I had the greenhouse. But yeah, I generally don't. Things got a bit moved around the other day. Wednesday was when I was in here because it was raining, so I couldn't sort of go in and out a lot. So I ended up with a cucumber sitting on this side of the greenhouse where it'd been where I'm sitting now, and there's another melon behind me which is a sugar baby, and it's got a baby, so I'm really pleased with that one too, because I've never been able to grow a decent watermelon. The best watermelon I've ever been able to grow is not last year, the year before, I think it was, and it was about tennis ball size, and it was just basically green all the way through. But fingers crossed that we get the warmer weather, as I keep saying, and I end up with getting a sugar baby. Now, sugar baby is a smaller melon. It's around about that big. It is designed for cooler climes, so rather than tropical or really hot climates. So it should do okay here. It's meant to be a thinner skinned one, as in, yes, it will have a good rind, but it's not like the big ones that have got the thicker skin in our sort of weather, Canterbury sort of weather, because it's just not hot enough for them to do what they're supposed to do. These ones are designed for cooler climes, so hopefully I'll see a watermelon. Fingers crossed. Once I finish watering in here, I'll put everything back where it's supposed to be, which I should have done on Wednesday, but I didn't. And I'll have a quick look at the chilies behind me and see if there's anything to show you. I forgot one of my melons. So this one here that I'm pointing to, it's a Western Express, which is a rock type melon, and it's meant to be another one that is happy with the cooler climes. Yes, it still needs a greenhouse, but it's happy with cold climes. And I can see at least 3 fruit forming on there at the moment, so loads of flowers there, so still plenty of time, so fingers crossed. So this is my 3 chilies that I have in here. The one there is tucked in right in the corner is the orange habanero. The one next to it, the one where you can just see the wee pink ping pong ball sticking out on top of the steak, that is my lemon argy, and the one there is just a standard cayenne pepper, which I've grown for years now and make my chili powder out of. The orange hab and the lemon argy are my first year of doing them, so yeah, learning lots about them. I gather they take a really long time, even though I started them in July and they grew inside for a long time. And we've had warm weather. They do take a long time to get to the point where they start putting fruit out. Jessie at plot 37, who I follow, and she's in London, so the weather's not exactly the same, she finds that she starts her chilies in like January and will often not be harvesting through till October or November. Though this summer, because it's just been so hot in England, she actually was harvesting one version, I think it was a striped peach something. She was getting that quite early, but she's just recently, before the winter really hit, got her lemon and her orange habs. I'm pretty sure she did orange hab. Interesting is she's using something this year that has just turned her ones into triffids, and that is called a chili grow, which is a form of self-watering pots. So yeah, haven't seen them here, but would be quite keen because I've seen quite a few people on YouTube in England talking about them and using them. Anyway, that's my chilies. I'm really happy with them. One thing I did notice on Wednesday when I was doing the tidy up and clean up in here is that I had the first few spots of powdery mildew, and they were on the Lebanese cucumber. So just had a look now, and I think I spot 1 or 2 there. So I'm going to have to take this leaf off and try and keep ahead of it, because once it gets into your greenhouse, it just spreads like wildfire. I cut the ones off I saw on Wednesday and binned them straight away. But yeah, don't really want that in here. Now behind me is my passion fruit. You can sort of see most of it, but so it definitely has suffered from the huge haircut I gave it prune over winter when I moved the whole container, not dug it out. I just moved the whole planter with it in down to this end. It's looked like it was going to put out a couple more flowers a few weeks ago. They don't seem to have actually occurred. I've only had the one real flower and one fruit, which I'm pretty sure is just hollow inside, that it didn't pollinate properly. But I'm sure that by next summer it will have re-established enough to actually do its thing. It's about halfway down the greenhouse at the moment, and I'm just training it just under where the roof meets the top of the walls at the moment. So yeah, take a bit more time, but play the long game. We'll see how we go. Right, I'm going to leave my little midsummer tour of the greenhouse, how it's going here, and I'm going to go grab a coffee and bring it out here and tidy up the rest of the greenhouse, the shelving unit and what have you. Take everything out that has been neglected or died and get on with it basically. Catch you later. Good afternoon. It is Wednesday the 7th of January and it's warm. Not as warm as it's going to get later in the week. Apparently Friday, Saturday, Sunday here in Canterbury are meant to be in the low 30s. So that's going to be a hide from the sun weekend, I think. Get out early, do the watering and then chill somewhere that I'm not going to cook. But today I'm going to do something that I've been meaning to do for some weeks. It's been on my get round to it list, and when I did try and do it, I couldn't do it because the ground was too hard. So we've had rain now, earlier in the week, well, must be about 5 days ago now, but we had a good 4, 5, 6 days worth of rain. So yeah, hopefully the ground is soft enough for me to dig now. Now I'm out in a corner of the garden that I don't head to very often. It's out the very front, but it's in behind the greenhouse. So on the other side of this is the back of the greenhouse, and this sort of shields the greenhouse from general view. But it's an area that now has grass. I did at one point try and do wildflowers here, but because I can't build it up with raised beds, it became a bit of a weeding issue. So the wildflowers got infested with clover, and you know what clover's like. So I gave up in the end, and we got it lawned. Well, we lawned it. So yeah, we can't put raised beds in this area, because the services go under here. So if at any time the services need to be accessed, we can't, have raised beds to have to dig over and things to get into them. The only thing that it has, and it's only had it for 18 months now, is my apple tree, which is the heritage one, which is the, I want to say Peasgood. Yeah, it's one of those ones. And currently it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 apples on it. I took off, I think it was about 3 or 4 ones that had just sat there and weren't doing anything. They were tiny, but the others are all good size. And I picked one up off the ground on Monday. I haven't tried it yet, and that will be my very first apple that I've ever grown. I've grown loads of other fruits, but I've never grown apples. So yeah, looking forward to that and trying it. It's sitting on the bench, and it's been on my get round to list to cut it up and have a try. I gather that it's early because a neighbour of mine who used to live locally, she had a tree and she would give me apples every year, and I'm pretty sure that it was Marchish that she gave them. So I think that this one came off because of the wind, but it looks okay. It looks ripish, so I'm going to try it and see what it's like. But I've been wanting to do something with this corner for a long time. I mean, it's just like fence, basically, and a bit of grass with the apple tree behind where the camera currently is. But I wanted just something to take the wooden fencing paling look off. So I have got something. It's taken me 6 months to get because they're hard to get anyway. And the ones I could get were really expensive, like $80 or what have you, and I wasn't willing to pay for that. But I did find one at my favourite place, Mitre 10. The particular one I go to has got a really good garden centre, and the people there are really helpful. So what is it, you're asking? Well, it is an evergreen hydrangea, an evergreen climbing hydrangea. So I didn't want something that was just going to be a skeleton over winter. I wanted something that at least gave something, like a bit of green. And I had seen these a fair few years ago on a gardening show, a UK one, where they had rejuvenated a small courtyard with pots and things like that. And it was quite a shady courtyard. And they had this evergreen hydrangea. And I thought, evergreen climbing hydrangea. Yep, really need one of them. Did a lot of research about it, how it grows and all that sort of thing. And then started looking for one. But yeah, it took a while to find one. So while this fence here is slatted, and the fence behind me isn't. Now, this is a self-clinging type thing, so it just needs something to actually hook onto. So I've got some of that green net that I'm just going to run down here behind me, and I'm actually going to put the hydrangea right in the corner so that it can grow along here and grow along there. So it will sort of encompass the corner. Now, while it's a self-clinging, it will need training though, because it can grow between 2 to 4 metres high. So I won't be wanting it to grow higher than the fence, but I will be training it along the fences this way and that way so that I can cover as much area as possible. I've done that with a camellia, which is in a big pot further down the alley. So yeah, quite keen on seeing how this go. They definitely like the cool climbs. They probably won't do well up and around Auckland or Northland or anywhere like that. Here where it is, it's going to be sheltered most of the time. Definitely sheltered from the easterly. It will get the southerly, but it's sheltered from the northwest as well. So basically it's sheltered from most winds bar the southerly, which is good. It likes cool roots, so it will get that here, and it doesn't like to be in hot sun. So it will get the morning sun in summer, but not much sun the rest of the year, direct sun the rest of the year. But it is a nice light area anyway, so it's going to get a lot of indirect light from, not direct from the sun, which will be good. It is frost hardy, which is good. Not that we do get horrendously bad frosts here, so that's quite good. And I have been putting it off, as I said, because of the hard ground. But also, I didn't want to put it out when we had our run of thunderstorms a week or so ago because of the potential of it getting hailed, because it was coming from that direction. And, brand new plant, really didn't want it shredded with hail. So I'm going to get on with it. I'm going to, as I said, put the netting up behind me and then dig the hole and what have you, and we'll do a bit of speedy with a bit of music and you can see how I get on. took a lot more effort than I thought. That's probably the reason why I've been putting it off too. So here it is, just tucked in here. I just realised I'm going to be in trouble with the fur boys. This is one of their sneaky passages. They come along this fence through the tiny wee gap here and along the back of the greenhouse. My new plant, is going to be a barrier to that. Oh dear. Well, we'll see what happens. So I've just given it good water in and it should be good there. I'll water it probably every second day. And it does say, keep up the water while it establishes, so I will do that, and hopefully in the near future, it's got two good strong branches. I've positioned it so one will go up this way and one will go up behind me. The netting I had to get a wee bit of help for just to get it started at the top because I'm too short and my arms are too short to get up the very top. So the family came in the top row for me, and once they did that I could do the rest, so that was good. But digging it out, I knew that this post here had been concreted in, and I wasn't sure how far the concrete base came out, but luckily enough it wasn't too far, so that was good. So while I started off with the little spade, it just wasn't easy for me to use, so once I got rid of the grass, just digging it out with the diggy knife and then the little shovel worked really well. As I remembered, the soil is really, really clayey. It's just got a very fine, this particular area has just got about of real soil and the rest is clay. I've popped a small layer, broken up the clay at the very bottom of the hole after I've dug it right out, put a small layer of composted stuff in there, and then once I've popped it in, I've put more compost around it. So I'm hoping that the soil around it won't upset it too much. It does like free draining soil. That might be a bit of an issue with it here, but we'll have to see how we go. Fingers crossed. Right, I'm about done for the day. I'm going to go in for a while, have a rest, and then make my mind up whether I come back out and do some more watering. We'll see how it goes. Lou's been in and out while I've been doing this, so he's disappeared again. Bo's just not been around. I think he finds a bush to sleep under during the day at the moment and just does the cat thing. So we'll catch up with a coffee and chat and see what we've done for the rest of the week. Probably do that tomorrow and see you then. Well, it's that time again for a coffee and a chat. So it's actually Saturday afternoon and the nor'westers got up and it'd be close to 30 degrees out here at the moment, so it's warm. We've had a couple of warm days and tomorrow's meant to be even warmer, so last few days all I've done is water and more watering. I was up and out by 7:30 this morning to get the back garden fully watered, and then headed around and gave the greenhouse another good drink at this time of year with all the heat and etc. and everything growing like billy-o. Well, everything needs a good water. But what did we get up to this week? Well, we had a really good look at the greenhouse, which is exploding. It's really, really doing well. I have harvested my first cucumbers, which we did one together, but I've harvested another one off the patio snacker today, as well as one of the telegraphs. And I have another patio snacker out just out here behind me, and it's got one that will probably need harvesting in the next 2 days maybe. Just depends on how well it grows with all this heat. The tomatoes in the greenhouse are doing really, really well. Should see colour on some of them hopefully in the next week or two. But I do have a couple of tomatoes here on the deck, and the sun gold is almost ready. I'd give it another day or two and I'll be able to pick one or two just to get me started. I had noticed when I've been out here watering that one of my Roma has got something. I can't really say what, but it's given up the ghost by the looks of it. So I'm going to have to pull that out probably tomorrow and see if I can salvage any of the Roma tomatoes that are on it, but we'll see. Courgette wise, they've just started to pump, so that's really good, getting those, and I'm sure in a week or two I'll be running around going, no more courgettes, but it's nice to have them anyway. The other thing that we did this week, other than the review of the greenhouse, was to plant the evergreen climbing hydrangea. So that seems to be doing okay. It's getting watered. At the moment with the heat, I'm giving it a wee drink every day because it's still quite shallow rooted, but it doesn't seem to be sulking or anything from being planted. Now, I didn't say what colour it was during the actual planting or what have you. It's white. The only one that I could find here in New Zealand was a white version, so it's white, but that's okay. I'm happy. I'd just like to thank everyone who's subscribed today. It's awesome. But if you feel that you'd like to subscribe and you haven't already, please do. The other thing I'd like to ask is if you have subscribed, just to check that you actually still subscribe, because YouTube's got this funny thing it does where it will just spontaneously unsubscribe you, and I had noticed on the numbers that there seems to be something going on at the moment. It seems to come in waves or glitches, and we're in the midst of one of these weird glitches where I'm pretty sure that some people are just being automatically unsubscribed. Right, I'm going to leave it there for now for this week and get out of this heat and go back into the cool of the house. For those who've gone back to work this week, I hope work hasn't been too horrendous, and for those that are going back next week, I hope that things are good for you when you get there. Otherwise, stay safe and well and enjoy your garden, and I'll catch up with you again next vlog. So from me for now, bye.